welcome back to Ryobi UK. Today we're going to be looking at the OnePlus compound sliding miter saw by Ryobi.
Let's crack on and see what functions she's got. Right, okay, let's start with the blade. The blade is a 216mm blade, which roughly converts to 8.5 inches. Also, the blade is a premium curved blade. It's obviously 216mm. It has 48 carbide tipped teeth, and evidently it provides superb cut. Saying that it cuts up to 70mm times 270mm. As I understand it, the 70mm is the straight down cut, and the 270mm is the sliding cut, as I understand it. Right, so let me show you next the sliding aspect of this saw, which makes it slightly better than just a normal miter saw. You can lock it with this little wing nut. So you can lock it so it won't slide for easy transport and everything like that, or you can unlock it, which then allows you to make bigger cuts. So if you've got a small piece of wood, you can leave it locked, but when you're using it on bigger pieces of wood, undoing that enables you to slide. Right, next thing, to a disc is locked, you cannot bring it down to make a cut. So enable to make a cut, you have this button here that you'll use with your thumb, pull across, and that now allows you to bring your blade down to make your cut. Here's your trigger that puts power to the disc. There it is there. So it's very ergonomical. It's got a lovely handle. It's got a nice moulding, over mould on the handle. Obviously gives it the style of the Ryobi, but also feels great to cut. So there you go. Just whiz it up a bit so you can hear it. Next I'll show you the laser. This specific unit comes with a laser. Doesn't come with any LEDs, which I'm a bit disappointed about, but it comes with a laser so you can highlight your cut a lot better. So here, as you can see how it's ergonomical, everything's here to move the blade down. You've got the motor just on the top with your two fingers, and then you've got the switch for the laser here. Now I'll show you down here the laser on. So I'll switch the laser on. I'll put a bit of paper there because I haven't got no wood to hand, just to show you. There it is. And so I'll bring the blade down. There's the cut. Let's move on to the miter cuts. To adjust them, you just pull up the lever. You've got pre-selected angles. As you bring the saw around, you'll hear it click into those pre-selected angles, as you can see that. Also, you've got pre-selected angles this way. Goes all the way around, and I believe it's marked at 45, but I believe you can actually cut. It's not pre-selected, but you can actually cut 50 degrees. I think that's what that is. But also, you don't have to have the pre-selected ones. If you want to nudge it gently, you can choose anything. So you can have 46, 38, whatever you want. You can get in there. See, this is your indicator to let you know where you're at. Next, let's go on to the bevel cuts. Right, in order to make a bevel cut, in here you have your degrees for the bevels. So in order to make that, you have to release this switch at the back, and that now allows us to cut on the bevels. So as you can see here, we are now at different bevels. None of these are pre-selected, so you have to sort of adjust yourself, and then where you want to be, then you just tighten your handle and it will lock in at that position. And obviously you can also make a bevel and a miter cut together, which is called a compound cut. So you can make, 45 degrees at 45 degrees. Right, just to show you, if I want to do a bevel cut, we have this guide will be in the way. You can see there's a wing nut here. So if you're going to cut a bevel cut, make sure you move that out of the way. That now allows the blade free access through the bevel, whereas if you push that across, it would hit the metal and that would be a big mistake. Right, next feature on the sliding miter saw is depth of cut. Now on this you can set the depth of cut, so if you don't want to cut all the way through the piece of wood, every cut you make is going to be exactly the same. The only thing I will say is I can't see an indicator on there to tell you how many millimeters. So I presume you'll have to make a test cut on a piece of wood, on a scrap piece maybe, and then set your depth and keep it that way. There's no indication to say, you know, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeters, anything like that. Right, I'll move on and show you now. Right, here it is. You can just see, I'll point to it. This is the depth of cut. As you bring the miter saw down, then that silver disc here can be adjusted up or down so that it makes the depth different. Now you can screw down with this and screw up with that, but it's this one here is your maximum depth of cut for any normal cut. So if you wound that all the way up, that would stop your blade hitting the base. And obviously you can adjust that if your blade happens to hit anything when it goes down. You can adjust that, but I can't see that happening. If you don't want it, you wind it right to the top, and then your depth of cut goes back to maximum. Right, here Ryobi are provided with a clamp. Not 100% sure at the moment because I haven't used it at the moment how good it's going to be, but it comes off. You can adjust the height that way and adjust the height that way as well. So just place it in, tighten it up, and you can move it around and tighten it down. Also, you can take it right out, but bear in mind you have to take this out because you're not provided with another, and then you can take it around the other side and use it on the other side as well. Okay, one of the last things I'll show you is got a guide either side, and I'll show you them now. Right, as you can see in the view, you can see we've got one this side, moves forward and backwards, and you can just make out in this frame forwards and backwards. Right, let's take you around and show you how to lock these out at any specific point. Right, here's your rowel, moves it out. I don't know if you remember, we put in that little clip that stops it coming all the way out when we installed them. But these come out, they extend both sides. I'd say, I haven't got my tape measure with me, but I'd say 6 to 8 inches, maybe 10 inches, which will support your wood. I'll show you when I do some cuts in a minute, which will support your wood on there like that. Right, to lock them out, you're supplied here, I don't know if you can just make this out in this light. You're supplied here with a handy little tool. It's an Allen key one end and a screwdriver the other end, posi drive. Right, so all you do is you move your guide rail to where you want it, just simply turn it as you would and lock it in place. Obviously you put your tool back in there, obviously, so you don't lose it. I presume if you don't lose it. Just to let you know, the hex side is to change your blade and make your adjustments if your miter saw isn't cutting accurate. And we'll get into that later. Right, round the other side again, same again this side, identical, exactly the same, slides out there, and we just do up the screw there. Around the front of the saw now, as you can just make out there, there's the button just here. I have to depress to lock the blade. So with that depressed, I am now able to undo the blade and replace the blade. So I would now, as you can see, that's locking. If I let go, it spins. Now it locks. So that makes it possible for me to now change that blade. Dust collection. You've got a dust bag with a zipped bottom for easy emptying, so you can easily empty it. But obviously, if you've got a shop vac, you can then attach a shop vac onto that, which is obviously the better option. But not everybody has got a shop vac, so there you go. The last thing I suppose I should mention, that I forgot to mention at the start, is that this r18ms216 miter saw is from the 1+ system. Obviously, that means it's battery powered and it works with battery power only. It has not got the hybrid version, so you cannot plug this in. So there you go, that's how you locate the battery for people that haven't got one of these 1+ tools. And away you go, she's ready to go. Right, okay, we're going to make a couple of cuts just to show you it working. Show you the laser and everything. Always wear safety equipment. Right, I'm going to make 2 cuts. Obviously the dust bag don't work very well.
Not happy.
Time for Ryobi rant. Right, the blade, as I understand it, I've read it somewhere, can't seem to find it at the moment, but I read somewhere or watched a video where they said it has a depth capacity of 3 inches, 3 1/4 maximum, which is one thing that I'm not sure about with this model. It's why I was thinking of getting the wired model. The wired model was 11-inch circumference, so if you take 1.5 inches off, what's that, 9.5 inches, so what's that, 4 and a bit inch, so you get an extra inch maybe to cut with. Obviously this bar here being fixed and mounted forwards does give you the benefits of being able to use this up against the wall, so your bar's not pushing out backwards. This could be a problem because you've got the sliding bar on this one comes forwards. On a lot of the other ones it goes backwards, so that's where this could be an issue. Right, there you go. There's the quick look at the Ryobi sliding compound mite saw, the 1+ version. It's the r18ms216 and -0 for 0 tool, no battery. In the next video I will be doing tool of the week, and also I'll do a small video showing you how to adjust the blade's angles if the blade happens to go out of true. It might even come in the box out of true, so I'll show you how to test the angles and how to adjust them on this specific machine. Like I said, once again, I'm not an expert, I've just watched the video myself and worked out how to do it. Right, see you soon on Ryobi UK.